Cheers, VC. Welcome back. I hope this finds everybody well. I'm back today with a contest response for Jason. Jason's having a contest. His channel name is Noise Jason Skilz. I'll, of course, link his channel in the description below. I think Jason's been doing vinyl community-related videos now for, I guess, just over a year or so. And he's recently reached 500 subscribers, so he's having a contest to acknowledge it. Congratulations, Jason. To get to 500 plus subscribers in a year, just over a year, is really great. It speaks volumes to you and your channel, so congratulations. I wanted to do a response and acknowledge you and your great channel. So for this contest, Jason is asking people to show 5 genres. Record for each, so wanted to participate and wanted to maybe show some records maybe that I haven't shown you before. So here's 5 records from 5 different genres. I'm going to start off with country. I'm not an overly big country fan, but this was a record that I played a couple of weeks ago. This is Buck and His Buckaroos, performance they did in Carnegie Hall. This was in, I believe the performance was in March 1966, and the record was released later that year. This is really good. As I say, I listened to it a couple weeks ago. I'm not a country fan, certainly not new country, but older country I do like. Buck Owens was, my maternal grandparents were really big Buck Owens fans, so I remember as a kid hearing Buck and some other classic country artists. This was a record I found a few years ago for very cheap. I believe it's either an OG or a very early 1966 Canadian pressing. It's on the Rainbow Capital label. Terrific shape. Very short record. I mean, it's only 25 or 26 minutes, but you know, as you can see on side 1, there's a 4-track medley. Show opens with Act Naturally, of course, which is a big track of his. Side 2, there's a 5-song medley. And side 2 actually starts with a track called Buckaroo, which is actually an instrumental. I'm not sure, do many people know many country artists that did instrumental tracks in the mid-60s? Anyways, this is a very good album, great condition. So number 1, that is country. Genre number 2, I'm going with jazz. And I'm going to show this one here. This is Bill Connors. My part of the world, earlier this week, we had our first day of spring, and it was a long time coming. We had a long, cold winter here. And this one's called Of Mist and Melting, and it has a bit of a spring feel to it. Again, Bill Connors. This is on the ECM label. And I got this a few years ago. And on this, of course, is Bill Connors on guitar. Jack DeJohnette is on drums, Gary Peacock on bass, and on saxophone is Jan Garbrick. So it's quite the lineup, and yeah, this is really good. Again, it has a nice spring feel to it, so I thought it was an appropriate record to show this week as part of this contest. Bill Connors. Okay, the next one that I have, this really could go under 2 genres. I'm going to go with reggae. It certainly has a thick reggae feel, but I think it can also be classified as world music. What this is Count Ozzy and the Mystic Revelation of Rastafari, Tales of Mozambique. This was originally released in Jamaica in 1975 as a single LP. This is a 2016 reissue on Soul Jazz Records out of the United Kingdom. This is a UK pressing. It's now, this particular reissue is a double LP, and what they did was they took 2 songs from a single from 5 years prior to the original release of this in 1970, Rasta Reggae and Samia. And they put them on as bonus tracks, and they extended this as a 2 LP. Really excellent stuff. Heavy on the drums, of course. your typical reggae, and even some ska mixed in. It's very jazzy at points with wind and string instruments on a couple of tracks, tribal, and just excellent stuff. And I love that cover. This isn't the original cover. There was a different cover, but that's just fantastic. Count Ozzy. That's reggae. Okay, the next genre that I have is an example of a soundtrack. And this is the soundtrack for the movie The Last Emperor. I don't think I've actually ever seen this movie. I'm certainly familiar with it. I've heard of it. I believe it was a big, successful movie. Came out in 1988, as of course did the soundtrack. And this really features mostly two popular artists. Ryuichi Sakamoto, who is a Japanese composer and pianist. He was big, and maybe most people would know him from being a member of the Yellow Magic Orchestra. And David Byrne, who of course is from Talking Heads. And see if I can show you the track listing here. Essentially the breakdown of this is Ryuichi compositions are on side 1 and David's are on side 2. This is completely instrumental, of course. While the whole album is really good, I find, for me personally, I like David's material a little bit better. Ryuichi's material is quite traditional in what you would expect from him. I find the tracks that David Byrne did, I find they're a little bit more experimental. They differ between one to the next. So those kind of favor with me a little bit more. But start to finish, this is really an excellent album. Again, it's all instrumental. Not sure if I get close up on some of those pictures, but anyways, yeah, 1988's soundtrack, The Last Emperor. And the last one I have, I'm going with rock. I think rock and maybe electronic are probably two of the biggest genres. I'm kind of slipping away into a subgenre. I'm going in with psych. Psych's been really big with me in the last few months, so it still is. I mean, probably most of what I'm listening to these days is psych. So I wanted to show this one here. This is H.P. Lovecraft 2, of course, from the band H.P. Lovecraft. They were out of Chicago, I think 1967, but this was released in 1968. I'll open it up here. The band, of course, is named after the writer, terror writer of the same name. This is the only thing I have from H.P. Lovecraft writers, Tales of Terror, and it's just a collection of stories here in this little slip hardcover book. But that's essentially who the band got the name from. And I'll just open it up here. This is a 1968 pressing. It's an American pressing. And this is on the Phillips label. I mean, this is essential psych. I think if you read online or in books about recommended or essential psych albums, this you will find in most, if not all of them. What do you call these? Uni sleeves? I can't remember what they call them, where the pocket's kind of on the inside. I don't think I've ever met anybody that actually likes this type of jacket, but really nice condition. There's the inner sleeve, I'll show you. H.P. Lovecraft. If you like psychedelic music, I highly recommend this album. So there's my entry to psych rock. And that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. Congratulations, Jason, once again on achieving 500 subscribers. I'll have Jason's channel linked in the description below. Until next time, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye for now.